The undefeated Claressa Shields captured her record-setting third undisputed title with a unanimous decision victory over previously unbeaten Danielle Perkins in a history-making fight that Shields almost had to postpone. "I actually think I'm going to have surgery on my left arm. I tore my labrum last week, so the fight almost didn't happen," said Shields. "I didn't want to let Flint down, but I really couldn't use my jab the way I wanted to. But I did the best that I could." After the win, Shields, who has held world titles in 5 separate divisions, revealed that she couldn't lift her arm for 2 or 3 days, but she didn't let on in the lead-up.
"I really hope Danielle don't come in there Sunday thinking I can't punch. Because they're gonna need 2 stretchers to carry her out if she do that."
As the WBC and WBF heavyweight champion, T-Rex was coming into the bout looking to claim the vacant IBF and WBO titles to become the undisputed heavyweight champion, something an American hasn't been able to do in quite some time.
Today, we do not have a heavyweight champion from the United States of America. In fact, the last born undisputed American heavyweight champion was Riddick Bowe, and that fight happened in 1992.
Wow.
So the winner of this fight, both fighters are from the United States, will restore that historic title to come right here in Flint, Michigan on February 2nd.
Meanwhile, Danielle Perkins was looking to do as well as she could against the GOAT of boxing, who she could only thank for the opportunity to make some money.
I always have told Claressa I do always appreciate everything that she's done for boxing. Her coming up to the heavyweight division is the best thing that could have ever happened to me in my entire life. No one at any point ever cared about this division until Claressa came up here.
For such a historic event, Shields said she rejected an opportunity to fight at the Barclays Center in New York, just so she could fight at home in Flint, Michigan. And the city of Flint came out to show their support.
She really embodies the spirit of the city of Flint. You know, we're coming from crisis to recovery. She embodies the true spirit of the city of Flint, and it's great that she chose her hometown to be able to bring this great showcase here.
I want them to know that just because we come from Flint don't mean that we're not great people. Like, we're great people, we're great athletes. Sometimes the water crisis overshadow everything going on in Flint. And it's like, well, the water crisis is still existing, but it's a lot of resilient people here.
Resilience is one word for it. Shields was barely able to throw her vaunted left jab, but her right hand got her through. Despite the shoulder injury, she almost doubled the amount of punches landed, and she scored the only knockdown with just seconds left on the clock. She was strong. She was definitely a problem, Shields said. "My experience and my skills got me over it, and also, I've been in plenty of street fights with bigger people, and I had to use some of my skills in that today, too. So when I dropped her in the last round, it's because she got greedy." With the win, Shields became the first boxer, male or female, to become the undisputed champion of the 4-belt era in 3 different weight classes. All hail the Queen. To the men, David Benavidez dominated David Morrell Jr. to secure a unanimous decision victory in their light heavyweight title clash. He now holds the WBC interim title and the WBA regular title, but he still won't get either of the title fights he's after. Benavidez's plan was to punish his body on the way to a stoppage, but it was Morrell who scored the only knockdown in the 11th round. However, Morrell was also deducted a point for punching after the bell, and by then, Benavidez had already built up an unassailable lead. "I wasn't really hurt, but it was after the bell," Benavidez said. "The little bullshit knockdown caught me off balance. It is what it is, but like I said, that was a good fight." The former 2-time super middleweight champion has been chasing the undisputed champ Canelo Alvarez for years, but the Mexican superstar has ducked him at every opportunity. Without Canelo being game enough to fight him, Benavidez moved up to light heavyweight to chase world titles in the new weight class, where all the belts are held by Artur Beterbiev. However, the champ is scheduled to face Dimitri Bivol this February 22nd, so no world title shot for Benavidez yet. His 2 secondary belts mean he's next in line. Unless you're next in line to face Canelo, because apparently that means nothing. 166. In the featherweight division, Stephen Fulton dominated Brandon Figueroa to win the WBC featherweight title with a unanimous decision. Although Fulton won their first encounter by majority decision in one of 2021's best fights, this was not that. This time, Fulton outlanded Figueroa in 11 of the 12 rounds, threw more punches than Figueroa in 7 of the 12 rounds, and Fulton landed 32% of his punches compared to Figueroa's 22% to easily take the W. And the brothers Logan and Jake Paul posted this image across social media to create widespread speculation about a potential fight between the two. Instead, it's for a reality series and not a boxing match, and no one should be surprised. Jake, 28, and Logan, 29, are both YouTube stars who have mastered the art of generating buzz, or as Logan and his WWE comrades would more accurately call it, cheap heat. And their exhibition bouts have been huge moneymakers in the realm of combat sports. In Jake's most recent boxing endeavor, he scored a unanimous decision victory over Mike Tyson. That's despite Tyson being 58. Still, Netflix announced more than 108 million people watched, and it was the highest grossing combat sports event ever in Texas. Logan, who also works part-time as a WWE superstar, where he won the United States Championship, also went the distance in a boxing exhibition bout with Floyd Mayweather Jr. in 2021. Logan was also closing in on a potential bout with the former UFC champion Conor McGregor, with McGregor announcing that he was in preliminary agreements to fight Logan Paul in India. This was until the UFC recently refused him permission. So I guess we get Paul versus Paul, but not really, because it's a reality show about, I don't know. It's not about fighting, so you'll have to look it up for yourself. In the UFC Fight Night 250 main event in Saudi Arabia, Nassourdine Imavov stunned the world by knocking out former middleweight champ Israel Adesanya early in the second round. With the win, Imavov has positioned himself as a serious contender for the title. It was a close first round, punctuated by an Adesanya throw and a clean uppercut from Imavov. In the second round, Imavov landed a devastating right hand that dropped Adesanya to the fence. He survived, but a smashing uppercut finished the fight. I cleaned the weight class in 1 year. 4 fights, 2 wins against top 10 competition. 2 finishes against top 5 competition, stated Imavov after the win. Next is the belt. Next weekend, the middleweight title is on the line at UFC 312, where the champion Dricus du Plessis faces former champ Sean Strickland in their highly anticipated rematch. Whether Imavov's performance was enough to secure a title shot is still up for debate, though. That's because Khamzat Chimaev, currently ranked number 3 in the UFC middleweight rankings, could be next in line. The undefeated Chimaev is coming off back-to-back victories over former champions Kamaru Usman and Robert Whittaker, and he's got a lot of heat and momentum. As for Adesanya, things are looking bleak for the former champ. This was his 3rd consecutive loss, and it was the first time Adesanya had tasted a UFC defeat outside of a title fight, following losses to Strickland and du Plessis. At his peak, Adesanya was one of the sport's most loved fighters. But with the wear and tear of many bouts and his 36th birthday approaching, this could mark the beginning of a shift away from title contention. In the co-main event, Michael Venom Page handed Shara-Bullet his first professional loss. Page dominated him over 3 rounds with his infamous striking versatility and technical precision to earn the unanimous decision victory. Both fighters were extremely technical, and MVP mixed in his usual flashy arsenal of spin kicks and flying knees, but it was his somewhat surprising clinch supremacy against the cage that got the job done against the one-eyed pirate from Dagestan. "Everybody look at me," demanded MVP after the win. "Look at me. I am the captain now." Imavov earned a Performance of the Night bonus for his stunning knockout, as did Bogdan Grad for his second round TKO. Fight of the night was awarded to Vinicius Oliveira and Said Nurmagomedov for Oliveira's upset decision victory. And to another Nurmagomedov entirely, Khabib's arch-nemesis, the former UFC dual division champion Conor McGregor, has been caught spitting in a man's face in a Las Vegas casino. McGregor, who recently had a similar accusation filed against him in Florida, not long after being found liable for sexual assault in Ireland, was walking with his usual entourage when the stranger yelled, "Let's go Khabib." The Irishman responded with what is a crime in Nevada.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.